All right, what is up, my friends? It is Monday, and that means it's time for another video here on CoolStuffInc.com. We have a really fun one today. This is a deck that was built by a fellow streamer named Holy Diva, and also known as Daniela Diaz. And she built this deck. She's had a love of kind of spell-based aggro decks for a while, and this is a deck where it's got some new cards in it. And that's pretty cool. One of the things about Modern is, like, you know, we have new sets coming out. Guilds of Ravnica is really cool. Everyone's excited about a new set release. But it's usually more for Standard than for Modern, because Modern, the card pool is a little bit bigger. You know, the barrier for entry for any card into Modern is very, very high. Power level's high, a lot of cards to compete with. So it's not too often that a card will make the jump into Modern, unless it's very, very efficient. We're talking, you know, Fatal Push, Assassin's Trophy, you know, the cards that are just really, really efficient effects, more so than we usually see. And obviously that doesn't happen very often. But this deck actually has 8 cards from Guilds of Ravnica in it. We have 4 copies of Arclight Phoenix, which has been making the rounds in Standard, of course, and also making the jump to Modern here. Arguably better here in Modern than it is in Standard, due to the fact there's more cheap cards to pair it with. And we have Runaway Steam-Kin. And this card obviously seen in mono red decks in Standard, but not necessarily being used to its full effect in Standard. You know, it's more of like a Tarmogoyf. And yeah, you use the mana occasionally to, you know, use your experimental frenzies or flashback or risk factor. But, you know, for the most part, it's just a good beatdown creature. And in this deck, we're using it to its full potential, both mana-wise and creature power-wise. So this is a deck that's sort of a kind of like if Burn and Storm got together and had a baby. This is what it would look like. This is a very aggressive spell-based aggro deck. We still have our Monastery Swiftspears, kind of like Burn. You know, we have our Lightning Bolts. We have our Arcane Lava Spikes. That'll come up later. You know, so we're playing a kind of aggressive game for sure. Also have Fiery Temper. And, but we're also playing sort of a spell-based, prowess-based sort of aggro-y game where we're using cards like Manamorphose, Faithless Looting, and then, of course, Desperate Ritual, which you can splice onto Lava Spike. That's pretty cool. Splice onto Arcane. Look it up. Do a history lesson. And we're trying to use all these spells to bring Arclight Phoenix back from our graveyard as early as turn 2. And cast really fast Bedlam Revelers, which allows us to refill our hand. You know, our ideal draws see us emptying our hand on turn 2 or 3, and then casting Reveler to recoup. And of course, Reveler is also a very big threat. A 3/4 prowess creature is a monster. Its high mana cost makes it immune to things like Fatal Push or Abrupt Decay, and it can hit really, really hard. So we have some slight discard synergies as well. Of course, we have Faithless Looting. And we have, you know, one of the best cards in the format. And then we have Tormenting Voice as well, standing in to help get our Phoenixes into the graveyard, to help us make sure we're not flooding, to keep the cards kind of flowing. We can also discard our Fiery Tempers for a little madness action. Interesting to play Fiery Temper in a format where Lightning Bolt is also legal. But at times in this deck, Fiery Temper is actually going to be better. Because if I cast the Faithless Looting, I'm able to discard a Fiery Temper. That's just straight card advantage, because the card we're discarding ended up being cast instead. So it's sort of like Faithless Looting ends up being draw 2, discard 1, and then keep a Lightning Bolt, which is great. So very, very fast deck. There's a few ways to build this deck. This is the more baseline version. There were a few versions, I believe only one maybe, that did well at SCG Dallas, playing blue for cards like Charter Course over Tormenting Voice. I was working on a version of this deck that actually cut the Steam-Kins. And tried to be more aggressive by playing more prowess 1-drops. I was playing Soulscar Mages, and I was playing Crash Throughs. Those are other ways to possibly build a deck. We can go over that at the end real fast. But for now, this is kind of the baseline version of a deck. And then our sideboard shores up our weaknesses, of course. Dredge, very popular, and we have a pretty good Dredge matchup on the back of 3 Surgical Extractions and 3 Anger of the Gods. Both these cards quite good in our deck, because although Anger is obviously awkward with the Phoenix, it is very good with our prowess creatures, because they'll usually stay alive through it. And Surgical is very good as a free spell. There have been times where I have cast a Surgical Extraction essentially on nothing just to have a free spell to return Phoenix or pump Prowess in this deck. So that card's pretty great. 2 Blood Moons. We're already playing the rituals, so we can play a Blood Moon on turn 2 pretty easily. Tron, Amulet Titan, all decks in the format. Abrade is our kind of versatile spell of choice. It can kill Ensnaring Bridge and things like that. Also an extra Lightning Bolt effect against humans. We have Dragon's Claw for any sort of burn mirror or aggressive matchup like that. And we have one of the coolest cards in the sideboard, Shrine of Burning Rage. Now, any fair deck, the matchups that are a little bit scary are the fair matchups, where if they can possibly graveyard hate us and turn off our Phoenixes and Revelers, and then use cards like, Thoughtseize and Fatal Push to keep our creatures under control, we might not be able to have the gas to kill them. So we just play a Shrine on turn 2, and then just cast a lot of spells, and then deal 10 to them. This card's really, really good. Shines very, very highly in any fair matchup. So that's a really, really cool one. This card was a big player in Standard when it was legal, and a card you may have forgotten exists, but I assure you it is quite good. So we're going to run through a league. Again, this deck is a blast to play, and also very competitive. This deck has done well online. It's been poking in here and there in various opens and classics and stuff like that. I don't think the absolute best build has been found yet. As I said, the Steam-Kins are very, very good when you get rolling, but against some of the faster matchups, they can be a little slow on the draw. It feels bad to just play a 1/1 on turn 2 and say go. But they are very, very explosive at other times too. So definitely the highest variance card in the deck. The deck could be faster with more prowess 1-drops. The deck could be more combo heavy with some blue elements. Adding blue, of course, changes the mana base, and one of the allures to the deck is this mana base is awesome. No vulnerabilities to, Blood Moon, no damage taken, just really smooth. 19 mountains, lets it ride. All right, let's go. Playing against a Raging Tilt monster. Hopefully they're able to keep that under control. All right, so first hand, one more land that we would like. However, we have Steam-Kin, we have a Looting, we have a Phoenix. I would say most hands with Looting are keepable. This is probably the most important card in the deck. The games you draw Faithless Looting look a lot better than the games you don't. This is a Faithless Looting deck through and through. We're on the play here. So we have access to turn 1 Looting, turn 2 Steam-Kin, and then we can kind of hopefully go nuts. Also very nice is that the ability of Steam-Kin can flashback our Looting. All right, so drew a second Phoenix, so a lot of explosive potential here. However, we did draw another land, which is bad. So we're a little flooded, but we'll see what we can do here. Some serious, serious explosive potential here with double Phoenix in the graveyard. Monastery Swiftspear. Might be some sort of a mirror match here. All right, well, that's a pretty good one. So we're going to play our Steam-Kin. And with double Manamorphose, I'm going to say it's very, very likely we're able to get these Phoenixes back next turn. We need to draw 1 spell in our top 3 cards. And even if we don't, we can, we can also flashback Looting. So yeah, we're good to go. I assume our Steam-Kin's probably going to die. Ooh, Gut Shot. Yeah, we're definitely playing a mirror here. Any sort of free spell is very, very nice in these decks because obviously you can trigger Phoenix, trigger Prowess, etc., etc. Gut Shot is a possible sideboard card we could play for sure. No land drop. And a Reveler. All right, this hand is turning out quite good. Let's just start the train. Manamorphose. It's a free spell. Spell count 1 for Phoenix. Make red. That's pretty bad. That's okay. We're now also casting. This is our 3rd spell for Reveler. We draw a Looting here. It'd be fantastic. Another land. All right. So obviously not ideal. We have drawn 6 lands out of our 19, but we still get the flashback Looting here and get back our Phoenixes. If we get lucky and draw Phoenix, that's also a nice little bonus. Having opposite problems here. Our opponent is mana screwed, we're mana flooded. Temper and Steam-Kin. So we're going to dump 2 lands here. Temper's looking a little awkward, obviously. So we have no discard outlets currently, but that's fine. We're obviously just way flooded on lands. So, and away we go. Now they may have a bolt here, which would obviously be fine because we might not be able to get it back next turn, but yeah, any bolts that's targeting our creatures and not us and not helping their prowess is good for us. They drew a land. That's bad for us. All right, so we unfortunately also only have 2 spells in our graveyard for Bedlam Reveler, but they're playing Kiln Fiend. They're playing a very aggressive version of a deck. Kiln Fiend needs to die basically at all times. So that's a really, really, really good draw. Now we can Tormenting Voice, we can Flashback Temper, and we draw any 1 mana spell. We'll get our Phoenix back as well. So, I'm sorry, a Madness Temper. So Steam-Kin, again, like I said in the beginning, Steam-Kin can be a little awkward at times because the upfront cost of Steam-Kin is a lot. And in a game like this where our opponent's trying to kill us really, really fast, spending 2 mana on a Steam-Kin that might not do anything yet is scary. But this is going to get our Reveler going. We need to draw 1 mana spell, of which we have a good amount of to get our Phoenix back here. And of course, we're seeing here how Temper is better than Lightning Bolt in this current scenario. All right, so killing the Kiln Fiend, super high priority. We kill that. We draw a 1 mana spell. Give me a Lightning Bolt. If they had a Mutagenic Growth there, that would have been scary. Oh, we did it. All right, so now we're gonna Bolt the Swiftspear, and we're gonna have 2 Phoenixes, and we're gonna go nuts. No reason to bolt them. We have the long game on tap. We have 2 resilient threats and a Reveler. So there's no reason to really try and get into a racing scenario and let them kind of kill us with the Battle Rage or something. We'll just keep the board clear and rely on our very resilient effects. Okay. Manamorphose Looting. They could also have their own Phoenixes here, which is fine. We have 1, 2, 3. We have 5 cards in our graveyard for Reveler. So our worst case scenario next turn is simply to go land, Steam-Kin, Reveler, which is fine. Swiftspear is also cool. We might actually just forget about Steam-Kin. I'm just going to go Swiftspear, Reveler. I think yeah, so now they're 3, 6, 7, 8, and average dead. Perfect. That was the goal. There's definitely, a point where Steam-Kin doesn't matter anymore. Sweet. Nice solid first game there. I'd say most things went right for us. Now, they're playing Battle Rage. They're probably playing their own Phoenixes, obviously, because they have lootings and stuff. We need to decide exactly what direction we want to go. I'm tempted to remove the Steam-Kins, because if your opponent has cheap interaction, Steam-Kin's not too great. It's a lot better in matchups where it gets left alone. And again, you probably make an argument that the Kiln Fiends are better than Steam-Kin because they just kill your opponent if it lives, rather than make a bunch of mana. But we're going to cut these. We want to leave a good amount of removal. We need to be aware that our opponent might have surgicals for our Arclight Phoenixes. I don't think I want to bring in our own surgicals, though. I think I'm happy just playing Abrade and Dragon's Claw. And, we have Revelers. If they're playing Kiln Fiend and stuff, they might not have Revelers also. They may. It's hard to know their exact list because we're aware of what they're doing, but we're not exactly sure, overall what their plan is. Are they more of a Phoenix deck? Are they more of a Battle Rage deck? Are they playing Reveler? Etc., etc. I think I'm fine with this. I don't think we want Surgical Extraction. We'll see how the game 2 goes, and we can reevaluate for game 3. I'm cool with this. I'm going to assume that with them playing Kiln Fiend, our deck will go long better, and we're also on the draw. So the extra life from Dragon's Claw and the extra removal spells play towards that plan. It's important to understand when you're sideboarding, understanding what your plan is and what the matchup is going to look like. Of course, fellow Cool Stuff writer Mike Flores wrote the article, Who's the Beatdown? Which is perhaps one of the most important articles in the history of Magic. If you haven't read it, when this video is done, you need to go and find it. It was written on, I believe, the Dojo about 20 years ago, a long time ago. The Dojo was like one of the first Magic sites. And the basic premise of the article is, it is important for you to figure out in every game of Magic, are you the aggressor or the defender? And then you need to make your plays accordingly. So we saw in the last game how we decided to just bolt their creature rather than them, because we realized that we were more of the control deck in that scenario. We have more resources and more inevitability, therefore we want to extend the game, whereas typically the beatdown player or the aggressive player is the one who wants to end the game quickly before the resources matter. So I think in this matchup on the draw, we are definitely not the beatdown. Okay, so a slightly awkward hand. We have a 1-lander with a 1-drop. We have a Ritual and a Manamorphose and an Abrade and 2 Tempers. Opponent mulligans is 6. This is a pretty tough one. We don't draw a land. We're obviously in a bit of trouble. I'm going to mulligan. I think between the Ritual and the 2 Tempers and the 2-mana removal spell, this hand is just too awkward. We're going to want a pretty good hand here. This is going to be a pretty fast matchup. It's a little weird, but I can buy it. I like the idea of Dragon's Claw. We have Tormenting Voice to fix things if necessary. We draw a Reveler. It's going to be very, very good with our Rituals. I'm fine with this. One of the primary functions of the Ritual in the deck is to obviously allow you to play multiple spells at a turn. That's pretty good. We're going to top that. And also cast your Bedlam Revelers quickly. Okay. So we're going to Swiftspear on turn 1 here, but for the most part, we're playing Dragon's Claw on turn 2, almost assuredly. Ugh. Okay, we're going to want to draw a removal spell, or we could very easily die next turn. That's a Lava Spike. I mean, if they have a couple spells in Team or Battle Rage, we are definitely dead. However, I don't think we can realistically play around that. So unless you want to like start casting Rituals and play Tormenting Voice, but hoping we draw a Lightning Bolt, that's pretty crazy. I'm gonna play Dragon's Claw and I'm going to attack, and if we die, we die. I don't think any other play really maximizes our chance to win. If we blow a bunch of Rituals and try and draw 2 cards to find a Lightning Bolt, the probability of that happening is pretty low. I think the probability of them just not being able to kill us next turn is higher. I think that we're probably worse than 50% to die here, but I think we're much worse than that to actually find the Lightning Bolt and blow our entire hand. It's just not worth it. So the Claw here is good for a few life, and hopefully we don't die. It's important to recognize when you're making plays to win versus plays not to lose, and I think this is a spot where we're just going to have to accept the fact that we're dead if we're dead, because the cost is far too high to try and draw to a very low probability out. All right, well, this starts a train. Again, the Claw will gain us, maybe 4 or 5 life here, hopefully. Yeah, I want to use the ability. Are you crazy? It's looking pretty scary. Kiln Fiend certainly kills very quickly. They discarded a Gut Shot and a Looting. That's probably bad for us because the Gut Shot's a free spell. It's worth 4 damage. The Kiln Fiend, I guess 3 with the Claw. The Claw. Our Claw. I haven't done the math here, but I'm pretty sure we're dead. That's 10, 24. Yeah, we're dead. All right. I mean, again, I think that our play is correct. If we Tormenting Voice, we have to hit exactly Lightning Bolt in 2 cards, which is very unlikely. They could easily just not had Team or Battle Rage and attack for 14 here, and we would have been fine. So I think our play there is fine. Now we're back on the play. Do things change at all? I'm not bringing in the Steam-Kins because they have Gut Shot as well. And if I play a Steam-Kin and they gut shot it, I'm going to feel really bad. We're just going to leave it as is. We're going to stand pat. I mean, our hand was awkward. We mulliganed. They killed us on turn 3. They could have killed us through blockers. You know, it is what it is. Okay. This hand's also pretty awkward. We have 2 Tempers, no discard outlets. A Manamorphose, no 1-drop, no discard outlets for Phoenix. Yeah, this is going to be a mulligan. You know, give me a Faithless Looting, this hand's insane. But, yeah, this is not really going to work. Okay, this plays. Similar to last hand, except we actually have a Lightning Bolt this time. So, pretty happy here. Manamorphose, I'm fine with that. It's just a free... It's just going to be it's just the next card plus a spell. So, you know, you can go turn 2 Claw, turn 3 Manamorphose. They kept a full 7. All right, we're going to open on Claw because we want to just get this out as soon as possible. They may bolt our creature here, which is fine. No. Opt. Playing Standard. I do think that the mana base of the blue-red deck is very awkward because you have a lot of 1-mana red spells you want to play. You have 1-mana blue spells you want to play. And you really want all of your lands to be blue-red dual lands, which can be quite painful. Unless you draw all Spiral Off Canals, obviously, which is great. So, whoops. Gotta make sure it's always yes. Lightning Bolt, our Swiftspear. It's fine. I think we don't want to use Lightning Bolt on their Swiftspear. Lava Spike. Okay, so kind of in an awkward spot where we have spells to bring back Phoenix. We have no way to get it in the graveyard. As we can see, like any one of these hands with a looting would be insane. I think we're going to cycle our Manamorphose. We just need some help here. Sweet. Now we're just off to the races because looting is just so good. Another Phoenix? No, that's fine. We discard a Phoenix and a Manamorphose. Send a spike upstairs, bring back the Phoenix, and everything is really, really good. No need to kill this Swiftspear, I don't think. We're at a solid 23 life. We're still scared of Kiln Fiend. And it's very, very unlikely to be able to kill us with a Battle Rage from 23 with a Claw in play. They have a Surgical Extraction. This makes our hand much worse. All right, that's frustrating for sure. But all right, well that hurts a lot. Now we have essentially no offense anymore. They have 5 cards. They're at 12. Again, these fetch lands aren't helping them. We have 2 bolts. It's not great, you know. Dragon's Claw is effectively just negating the prowess ability of Monastery Swiftspear, making it a permanent 1/2. I guess the opt got us. All right, sorry. I would say Serum Vision seems better than Optimus deck, unless they're playing both. Given that you usually want to cast your cards on your turn anyway. So all 4 Phoenixes are gone. We have 1, 2, we have 4 spells in the bin. So Bedlam Reveler is a good draw. Swiftspear is a good draw. So they're dealing 14. All right. I mean, that's 14. So we drew a land. We could flash back looting, but it frankly doesn't do very much. Our hand is already good. We might be incentivized to just kill this Swiftspear now. But they only have 2 cards in hand. If we flash back looting, we could discard the spike and like another bad card we draw. And we do want to find some gas. And it makes our Our Reveler, harder to cast though. It's not a great spot to be in. We also can't necessarily defend ourselves with Bolt super effectively because of the prowess. So we can Bolt this now. If they play a Kiln Fiend, we're in big trouble. Or we can just wait. This is a kind of tough spot, honestly. It's kind of a weird play. Our opponent just like wanted to do all of that damage in one shot, even though we're at 11. They took their opportunity while we were tapped out. It's kind of weird. You could have a second Battle Rage. It seems so hard to kill us with 2 cards. I'm gonna kill it. Maybe I don't know. I'm honestly not sure, folks. This is actually a really tough call. We need to figure out why they wanted to just shove all in with the Battle Rage there while we were tapped out, leaving us at 11 life. They could definitely have another Battle Rage. If they had a Kiln Fiend, would they have played that instead? Probably. Yeah, I'm gonna bolt this. I'm gonna play the land too, because we're definitely gonna need the third mana source to flash back our looting. All right, cool. Desperate Ritual. All right, so we're gonna flash back looting here, and pray they don't have Remand, which seems very, very unlikely in their deck, but we're fine discarding both of these cards for good stuff. So another looting and a Lava Spike. I'm pretty fine discarding looting, because we're at the point now we can just flash it back. And they're also at 9. We have 2 spikes, so I'm pretty fine just discarding both of these. You know, we have 1/3 of a Lightning Helix here. There's your Kiln Fiend. That's really scary. Tormenting Voice. Oh boy. So they just drew that, which is very lucky. If we hadn't bolted that Swiftspear, they'd be dead, which is definitely a thing, but I think we're just going to spike them twice and hope we don't die. We don't really have any other options. Again, I don't think casting Tormenting Voice, discarding a Lava Spike here is a good idea. If they have a couple spells and a Battle Rage, we're dead. Again, I think our hand's kind of forced here. Maybe killing that Swiftspear was wrong. We could have just saved it. Just save the bolt. Because now we probably just die. And we could have just killed them with the bolts. I'm not sure, honestly. That's a tough spot. Because if they have the Battle Rage, it's possible that this Swiftspear just kills us anyway. So again, they kind of have to have Battle Rage here. And they've already cast one. And we have a number of looks next turn at a lethal bolt or Lava Spike. Temper off the top works. Oh, they're bolting us. So, and Battle Raging. That's 14. We're at 1. Big draw. Whew. That was a close one. Again, if they had the Battle Rage with the Swiftspear, they might have been able to kill us anyway. So, I think killing it was fine. They obviously didn't have the Kiln Fiend, so our read was correct. They drew it the next turn, which is unfortunate for us, but ended up working out 1-0. This deck is sweet. This deck is so much fun to play. It's hard to describe how much fun this deck is to play. It's explosive, you draw cards, you bring stuff back from the graveyard, you have all the pleasure of drawing a lethal burn spell off the top, you're playing Faithless Looting, Swiftspear's great, deck's just super fun. I think if our opponent's name wasn't Raging Tilt Monster, we probably would have drawn a mountain there, you know, but Karma just wants them to feel the Raging Tilt. Hopefully they haven't, smashed their keyboard or something. So we saw there how they surgicaled, one of our main plans. Didn't really matter. What's nice about this deck is it is You know, Graveyard Hate is good against it, but it's not the end of the world. You know, Dredge can't beat a Rest in Peace. We can beat a Rest in Peace easily. All right, so we're on the play, which makes me okay with this hand. It's not great, but turn 2 Steam-Kin on the play is good. On the draw, I might chip this. But I think on the play, this is fine. We're going to keep. Let's play Steam-Kin, a bunch of Manamorphose. You know, we're pretty likely to find a discard outlet in, like, you know, our first 2 draw steps and our Manamorphose draws. So, okay. No worries, my friend. You're a juice box. I like juice boxes. It's not a problem. Spire Bluff Canal again. Okay, so which Spire Bluff Canal deck is this? I think that Runaway Steam-Kin is typically not good against the card Spire Bluff Canal or Spire Bluff Canal decks, but we'll find out. Do they have Lightning Bolts? Again, this is the kind of card where if it lives, it's honestly very similar to Kiln Fiend, where if it lives, you do crazy things. If they kill it, you feel bad about it because you spent 2 mana and they spent 1. So, end step Burst Lightning. Not even Lightning Bolt. What kind of deck would play Burst Lightning? Probably like a Blue Moon deck, I guess. So our Phoenixes should be pretty good here. Fiery Temper. I think we're just going to ritual out a Phoenix and cast it. This is not our plan A, but it is, it's kind of fine. You know, I guess Remand would be pretty bad here. And that's a card that Blue Moon plays. But I would like to do something. If they have an actual counterspell or a bolt, we don't really care. Bring back next turn. So, alright, so no Remand. That would have been the worst case scenario. I mean, we're not really sure what they're playing. It's Burst Lightning here. Lightning Bolt. That's fine. I got a feeling that is it Falx? Is that Dumbledore's Phoenix? Falx will be rising again. Been reading the Harry Potter books to my stepson every night. It's actually been pretty fun. You know, we read like a little bit every night. And when he was in 1st grade, we read the book 1 of Harry Potter, year 1. 2nd grade, we read year 2. And now he's in 3rd grade, so we're halfway through the 3rd book, and it's pretty fun. John enjoyed when Harry first went into Dumbledore's office and said hi to Falx, the Phoenix, and it exploded, and he was worried that he killed his bird. Man, just another mirror here. This is something else. That's 2 spells. So I discard a Phoenix here. They can bring it back with a any 1 mana spell. So nope. Okay, this is fine. So they get a little card advantage. Remember that Faithless Looting is actually a card disadvantage straight up. So the temper makes it even. So it's just, you know, neutral. Alright, I mean, we're gonna get our Phoenix back here. They have 4 cards in hand. We're feeling pretty good. We have Phoenix and they don't. I mean, we are drawing some lands, but as always, give me Faithless Looting, please. Lightning Bolt. So it's Bolt or Temper here. We probably just cast the Temper. Yes, Temper is better with if we draw like a discard effect. We actually want to draw those anyway because we're kind of flooded. So I think we're fine just playing hard cast Temper here. Get back our Phoenix. Now they're at 12. And now we're kind of out of gas. We've emptied the clip here. We have 5 lands. It's not ideal, but we have a Bolt. We do have 4 spells in our graveyard for Bedlam Reveler. Manamorphose. I do think Opt is a very peculiar choice in this deck over Serum Visions. With everything being sorcery speed anyway. Ugh. Alright, they're just discarding 3 cards to Reveler. Discard a Phoenix. Alright, that's scary. Discard Phoenix. And now, assumedly, they will have drawn a 1 mana spell. They haven't cast it yet, though, so maybe they're raging about the fact that they didn't. Arclight Phoenix, definitely the new hotness in Modern, for sure. This is really the card you always want to draw, though. I mean, past turn 3, you just want to draw Reveler every single turn of the game. Just 3/4, draw 3 cards. All right, so here's the Phoenix. They have 2 cards in hand. I think we're going to take this damage. Ooh, we're not even going to attack? Wow. Wow. And we did not draw Reveler. We drew another land. Now we're in trouble for sure. We don't really want to kill the Phoenix because they are likely to bring it back next turn. We just have all lands in our hand. This is a pretty terrible scenario. We have to figure out now what's our best way to win the game because we are really, really, really behind. And I think actually just killing the Phoenix and hoping they can't chain together 3 spells is probably our best out. If they have a land in their hand, it may be difficult. They have a looting in the graveyard too. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean we are in big trouble here. Essentially, we need to draw a Tormenting Voice or Bedlam Reveler, or Faithless Looting. We kill Phoenix, act, put them to 8. They're very likely to bring the Phoenix back. If we do nothing, we just say go. We can kill the Phoenix after they've cast some spells. It's also possible we just block and try and hope to get lucky and draw and do multiple spells that chain together. This is a bad spot. This is not a good spot. It's also a question if we play a land or not. I don't think we do. Yeah, I think we're just gonna. We're gonna ship. We just need to get lucky and draw a big draw step next turn. It's really our only realistic way out of this one. Thing in the ice? Okay. Faithless Looting? Wow. I mean, I suppose Thing in the Ice is good against us. You definitely see here the power of Faithless Looting. They've cast 2 lootings now. We've cast 0. And things are going a lot better for them. They discard a 3rd looting and a Fiery Temper. Oh boy. Oh boy. I think we're dead, folks. I think now our best chance is to just end step bolt them and just hope to draw into 3 more bolts. Which sounds ridiculous, but you know, we could possibly draw. They're shooting our Phoenix, sure. If we draw Faithless Looting and some Tempers, some bolts, it's all a thing. So as we are definitely dead next turn. There's no 2 ways about it. There's no point. There's no point in bolting this Phoenix. That is a play to not lose the game, not a play to try and win the game. And right now, our best out is to just draw 3 lightning bolts off of looting. We'd be looting into a Lava Spike and a Fiery Temper. That doesn't even work. Looting into another looting. Yeah, looting into looting, Temper, then looting again into 2 bolts or Temper. I don't even know. We're just gonna draw a Mountain and die probably. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This needs to be exceptionally good. I'm not sure what it could be, but Runaway Steam-Kin is not it. Yeah, so True Reveler a little too late. I suppose this. I mean, we'll just play it. This flips at 7. This won't bounce. We're gonna block anyway, and we're just dead. I guess we're not dead. We could draw possibly again the chain of. We're almost assuredly dead, but. Yeah, we also have the Phoenix in the graveyard too, so Some Chain of Spells brings that back. We had outs there. You know, it wasn't weren't drawing totally dead. A lot of lands. I did add a land to the deck. The list usually plays 18. I'm playing 19 because I feel like the deck has a lot to do with its mana as far as you can discard extra lands and stuff and Faithless Lootings, but you need that second land. It's pretty important. It's hard to keep one lander. I found that when I played this deck previously, I had to mulligan a lot of tough one-landers. So the 19th land felt appropriate. Obviously, we're getting punished now by drawing a lot of lands. Charter Course, obviously, strictly better than Tormenting Voice, but the cost is obviously real, you know? It is very possible that discarded a Phoenix. Jeez, it is very possible that Thing in the Ice is just a better 2-drop than Steam-Kin. We're still alive. I mean, I'm going to leave the Reveler in play. I guess doesn't really matter. Any spell bounces everything but the Reveler, so just die to most things here. All right. Not a great hand. Not a great hand. Didn't pan out too well. So they're playing a bigger version of a deck. They're not. Looks like they're playing Thing in the Ice, not Kiln Fiend, and things of that nature. We don't really have a great answer to Thing in the Ice. It's possible they have Surgicals, like our last opponent did. Our Steam-Kins are probably bad. I don't mind bringing in like 2 Shrines and 2 Abrades, maybe in 3 Shrines and an Abrade, and trying to slow down a bit. They seem very unlikely to have an answer to Shrine. They're probably likely to have answers to Phoenixes. As far as Graveyard Hate, maybe. But I think Shrine will do a good job. If they're trying to, like, you know, play Thing in the Ice, play a little bit of a slower game, we can Shrine them out. Steam-Kin's got to go for sure. I think I like Shrine. Maybe only 2. Maybe we'll do 2 Shrine and 2 Abrade. I guess Abrade only kills Swiftspear and Phoenixes. Could bring in Surgical Extraction. I don't love it. I could bring in Dragon's Claw, but they obviously have blue cards also. It's a lot of things you want to play on turn 2 also. Interesting. Most of our cards on our sideboard are not pretty useful in this scenario. It's more so that the Steam-Kins are just actively bad. All right, on the play, you want the Shrines. Maybe we want all 3, and then maybe we'll bring in 1 Abrade. It's better than Steam-Kin. We'll see what they have. You know, if they have Graveyard Hate, we can reevaluate. You know, if they have extra removal spells, we can reevaluate. You know, we'll go from there. Okay, so we have a Looting, we have a Reveler, we have a bunch of spells. We got to keep this. This hand could possibly cast Reveler on turn 2, so I'm not thrilled about casting the Looting on turn 1. When I have a Temper, I could discard to it theoretically, but I think just playing Reveler as soon as possible is definitely the most important thing. Probably end up dumping like Temper, something else, and then next turn we can Ritual Manamorphose and cast Reveler. Once Reveler is actually in play, it's very hard for them to remove, I believe. All right. Lava Spike Mountain. So we're going to dump the Fiery Temper, and I think the Lava Spike. The Ritual, so we discard 2. It's 3 cards in the graveyard. It's 3 spells in the graveyard. Ritual's 4, Morphos is 5. We can actually cast... Actually, no. We're going to discard Emperor Spike. Keep the Ritual, because next turn we can actually cast the Reveler, so... Not the best, obviously, as far as turn 1 lootings go, but I think it sets us up pretty nicely here. Turn 2 Reveler's a pretty good threat. Discard Phoenix, chart a course. That's the worst draw in the deck by a mile. That's okay, though. Obviously, the second Reveler always gets discarded to the first Reveler, but... Alright, let's Manamorphose. We draw a Phoenix here to put it in play, too, I think, right? No, it's a land. Alright, so cast Ritual. That's 5. Bolt is 6. Cast Reveler. Discard the trash in our hand and draw... Thankfully, we have a looting in our graveyard. So their main way to deal with Reveler is probably just Bolt, which seems kind of unlikely. Dragon's Claw, sure. Heh. I mean, we could Abrade the Dragon's Claw. I just don't think it's that important. I think looting is more important this turn. Swiftspear, Abrade. Alright, I mean, could be worse. Thing in the Ice. Well, that will not bounce the Reveler. Oh my god, are you kidding me? That's 8 lands already. Ugh. Alright, and I guess we're gonna Abrade the Dragon's Claw. I want to get the attack in first. There's a chance they chicken out and don't block Swiftspear. I guess if they block it, we're going to probably Abrade it. It's interesting. I'll probably do it after damage. Yeah, so if we Abrade right now, we get in 1 extra point of damage off our Reveler. But if they have a Lightning Bolt, it's a blowout. So I'm going to wait, let it deal the damage. And then kill it post-combat. Now we have 2 creatures to their none. They have a claw, but our damage output should be able to overcome that with our 2 good damage sources. We do need to draw a spell. Not gonna lie. No more lands, please. But a little roasty toasty here, that would be bad. That's very good for us. 2 mana Chart, of course, when they're behind on the board. And now they would need 2 1-drops to get back their Phoenix. They would need to take damage off their Shivan Reef, probably. This looks good for us. So again, our opponent's playing the much slower version of a deck. Our last opponent was playing the hyper-aggressive Kiln Fiend version. This opponent's playing the slower Thing in the Ice version. We're playing the Mono Red version. Spire Bluff Canal. Again, playing an extra color has a cost. And as long as you draw a spell here, they're probably dead. Lightning Bolt or Swiftspear. Alright. Spell, please. That's good. I can buy that. I'll buy that for $1. Let's draw Land Reveler. Temper Manamorphose. Interesting. I guess we just cast the Manamorphose. It is giving them a life, but it's also a prowess trigger, so it's just a wash. Yeah, sure, why not? Kind of spinning our wheels here a little bit, but it's okay. And a mountain. We're somewhat incentivized to want to keep. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep these in our hand. There's no reason to shock them. Basically, it's a bolt technically, but this is fine. There's no reason to do that. Any looting, Reveler, or Tormenting Voice we draw is now going to be monstrous. They don't seem to be able to remove this Reveler at the moment, which is great. They're at 10. I think we're in good shape here, despite many, many snow-covered mountains. They have 1, 2. So they have their own Reveler at the cost of a life, 4 mana, and the extra Reveler in their hand. Spell. That's a spell. It's a pretty good one too, actually. I'm going to play land now, so we're going to attack. So they have a spell. I want to be able to spell back in prowess. They have like an opt or something. All right, now we're just going upstairs. So this deals 8 damage to them. We have Shrine of the Burning Rage taken down. They're at 4. We're at 20. Again, they're not playing Battle Rage and stuff like that, so we don't gotta be scared of that. Battle Rage is sweet. It's a sweet magic card. Flashback Looting. So that's good for us, because that's a pretty mana inefficient play. So they may be able to get back a Phoenix this turn, but you know, they're racing our Shrine. We do need to draw a spell. That would be nice. You know, we have 10 lands and 26 spells left in our deck. We have a lot of big draws also. You know, Reveler, I guess Looting's not good anymore, but Reveler's insane. Even a Phoenix is fine, honestly. Any Bolt is good. Manamorphose is fine. Spike is good. Temper's good. Once again, this splash ain't free. Now they have triple Phoenix. And no way to get them back because they drew a Dragon's Claw instead. Wow. All right, big money. Swiftspear. That will not kill them. That will add a counter to my Shrine, but they will gain 2 life. So that's a net loss for us. I'm going to hold it in my hand. Maybe we can try and sneak in the damage later. Or discard it to a Tormenting Voice, something like that. Any spell there would have been so good because it would also force us to chump block. So definitely one of the worst cards we could have drawn, but I think we're still in fine shape. They have force. They're going to cast the 4th Phoenix. Their hand must be bad. Yeah, their hand's terrible. Wow. So they're out of gas and unable to bring back the 3 Phoenixes in their graveyard. All right, how about a spell? Faithless Looting. Lava Spike. Does that do it? Does 1 damage effectively, and then this does 4. That is 1 short of lethal. So I guess we continue to wait. However, if I play Swiftspear, and spike them, then it is possible they'll have to chump block with their Reveler, trade Swiftspear for Arclight, and then our Reveler is free to attack next turn. That seems good, actually. Having them gain 4 life here kind of stinks. This is one of the worst lava spikes of all time, but it is still a lava spike. Shrine's now at 5, so they're effectively at 5 life. Now they're effectively at 7 or 2 life. Now we attack. They have to block. If they have a spell here, it's just an annoyance. All right, this is fine. They have a lightning bolt in particular. It's bad, but I'm dumb. That block makes sense. That was not a good attack. I don't know why I had them locked in on blocking the Reveler with the Reveler, but that was a bad attack. I shouldn't have done that. There was no reason to put the 4th Phoenix in the graveyard and just throw this away and make them gain life. That was just bad, I think. I don't know why I was so locked in on their Reveler having to block our Reveler. Now they could easily just chain together spells and win the game, which would suck. Nope, that is not a red spell or a spell. Sweet. All right, well. Yeah, I think that play was pretty bad. We should have just held both the Swiftspear and the Lava Spike in our hand. There was no reason to do what I just did. That'd be gutsy. That's gutsy. All right, they're at 9. We draw a Shrine of Burning Rage. That's actually not bad, because it's not a red card. It's a prowess trigger, and it forces them to block here. This plays. They have 1 card in hand. Yep. All right. This works for me. Very happy with our sideboarding here. These shrines seem really, really good. And without these shrines, it'd be pretty hard to win this game. They could just sit back on their Dragon's Claws, gain life, and then wait till they have enough spells to cast the Phoenixes. Alright, they're going to chain together 3 spells here. We're probably going to die. Opt goes on top. That's really bad for us. 3, 6, 9. 12 damage from Phoenixes. Ugh. Alright, so we need to use Shrine and kill this Reveler, which really, really sucks, because otherwise we're dead to all 4 Phoenixes plus the Reveler attack. That does not feel good. Yeah, all 4 Phoenixes in the top 30. It's tough. It's definitely tough. Maybe they stole our Phoenixes too. This is peculiar. Oh, we drew a land. Okay, I guess we're dead. That was a tough one. I think our sideboarding was good. I'm mostly happy with everything that happened there. That one attack that turn was bad. We might have thrown the game there. I'm not sure what would have happened the next turn or two, but it would have sold a Phoenix. Yeah, that might have lost us the game. If we had not done that, just sandbagged the Swiftspear and waited for a better spot. that might have done it, but that was tough. As you can see, though, Arclight Phoenix, all the rage in Modern right now. Let's try again. All right, we are on the draw this time. I do get worried about Steam-Kin on the draw, I'm not going to lie. Stamping Ground. Valakut. I would imagine this should be a good matchup because they don't really interact too much. And they're like a turn 4, turn 5 deck. And we have the explosive potential to kill them very, very fast. Search for Tomorrow on turn 1 is definitely their good draw, though. Heart Expedition. Wow. Okay. Second Steam-Kin, not what we're looking for. So you can see here how kind of like the Steam-Kins, you know, all right, I mean, we attack for 1 and play a 1/1. You know, like next turn would probably be good, but if they have a bolt here, it just feels really bad. So it's possible that Steam-Kin is not the way to build the deck, even though it goes so well when it's going. It's a good example of the concept of ceilings and floors. You hear this, you know, reasonably often in a number of different walks of life, but the concept is basically that things have a ceiling and a floor, you know, so when it's at its absolute best, the ceiling of Steam-Kin is through the roof. But at its worst, the floor on Steam-Kin is you play a 1/1 on turn 2 and they bolt it, and you didn't do enough proactive things in your turn, you know? So definitely a very high floor, a very low floor, high ceiling kind of card. Oh, don't Anger of the Gods me. That's still bad, though. Now they just have a Expedition ready to go next turn, too. Like, this second Steam-Kin feels terrible. Alright, so they're 1 land off of activating Valakut. We really hope they don't have a Lightning Bolt. We drew a land. Doesn't really help us. Oh boy. We can't cast 3 spells to get our Steam-Kin above so we can start making mana with it. Alright, this does not feel particularly great. I feel like we're going to die next turn. And if we're not going to die, all of our stuff is going to die. I mean, they're going to be at 7 life. If one of these was a 1 mana spell, you know, we can get the Steam-Kin to 4 power. Or 4 toughness, I mean. Like, if they have a Titan here, we are just dead as a doornail. Yeah. So now all of our stuff is dead. It's possible we're dead, actually. I didn't really do the math. They get Valakut. They get 2 lands. And they get 2 more lands. Yeah, so they're just going to kill our stuff and kill us next turn. So, Faithless Looting. Doesn't really help us either. It's got to be a land, too. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't work either. We are 1 short, unfortunately. And we are dead next turn to their attack. Well, that stinks. It's possible. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. If we had just played the Spike last turn and not played the Steam-Kin, they would be at 4 less life. Yeah, we might have thrown this game away, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. We don't play Steam-Kin, we just double spike them. Yeah, that was 4 extra damage, and they just died of a temper. Yeah, I might have screwed this game up. Yeah, I think I got kind of tricked by the Steam-Kin. It just didn't do anything that turn, and it wasn't really worth playing, because it seemed pretty clear they were going to be able to kill our stuff with... Well, did they have the Valak? Yeah, they had the Valak at that point. Yeah. Yeah, that's frustrating. We probably should have won this one. All right, still a good matchup. It's fun. They'll probably have Anger the Gods post-board, which kind of stinks, but I think we should have won that game. So, like, I don't even think we want to bring in Blood Moon. Like, I guess we probably do. I just want to stay as aggressive as possible. I feel like our main plan is just better than their main plan. We're just faster than them usually. But like the turn we take off to play Blood Moon sucks. It's not a spell to trigger all of our stuff, but it's probably just too good not to play, I guess. All right, and then we're gonna cut 1 Steam-Kin and 1 Phoenix. We're gonna hedge a bit around Anger of the Gods. I don't want to draw 2 Steam-Kins. And it's possible they have... Like, we're not really interested in grinding. We want to just kill them. So, I think I'm happy with this. Let's make sure deck a little better against Anger. Yeah, probably should have won that last one. Kind of stinks. Alright, this is the hand. A little land heavy, but we'll see what Manamorphose turns up next turn. Basic Forest. That's probably good for us. It has 1 less mountain, so Valakut will be 1 turn slower than last game. That's not bad either. We're pretty happy just to be a burn deck in this matchup, I think. Burn is pretty good against Valakut usually. Hello. I will take that. They're likely dead before they could even cast Anger of the Gods, so... Tri-Belder? Ugh. Alright. We temper them here. They take 5. Ideally, they don't have a Bailoff. That would be annoying. Bolt me. All right. Bolt me. That plays. So Reveler costs 3. And we draw 3, and we draw... Okay. Get him next turn. Get him next turn. One of the benefits to our all basic land mana bases, of course, is that we don't take damage. Escape Shift can't kill us from 18. Need extra land. Bloodburied Elf is whatever. Tormenting Voice, discarding. We can just cast the Phoenix. But if they have a Lightning Bolt, I think it's fine. So the fear is if they have Lightning Bolt into like Scape Shift, we die. If we Voice, we can try and find one of our many Lightning Bolt effects. We have 3 spikes, 3 lightning bolts, 2 tempers. We also just discard the Phoenix and possibly bring it back. 2 mana discard Phoenix, 2 mana and then 1 mana spell. Yeah, I'm just gonna play the Tormenting Voice. I think it's a very high chance Phoenix enters play anyway, and this is a much higher upside. Like we're drawing a lot of cards. We need to draw any 1 mana spell. That works too. Never just super dead. Yeah. Nuggia. Upstairs. Alright. That worked reasonably. So they show anger. Now we're on the draw, and I like the Steam-Kins even less. I might actually want to put the Phoenix back in. There isn't really much else here we actually want, so I just think that turn 2 Steam-Kin plays into anger really poorly. Even though Phoenix also plays into anger, at least Phoenix will get in that first 3 damage, so it's not a waste. Whereas if you just play Steam-Kin and they cast anger, it just feels awful. So, or Bolt. And we're also on the draw now too, so yeah. Steam-Kin on the draw just seems not great. This hand is pretty bad. Give me a Faithless Looting, and I keep this hand in a heartbeat. But this hand is pretty terrible. We're going to mulligan it. Alright. I mean, this is our burn hand. Keep that on top. We want second land. So, ideally, no Sakura Tribe Elder. Well, no Search for tomorrow. That's nice. They've had Search both games. No Tribe Elder, no Lightning Bolt. They have either of those cards. Lightning Bolt in particular. We may be in trouble. And once again, I just want to draw Faithless Looting every day, all day, every day. No fetch is weird. Like, that could have been a stomping ground pretty easily. They kept 7. I don't know. Don't really understand. Maybe they misclicked, I guess. Can't imagine they would keep a 7-card 1-land hand, so... Alright, I mean, we have a lot of draws that killed them next turn, so that's cool. That's not a lot, but... I mean, missing the land drop is just like, yeah, and then they got a shock here, so this is just heavily in our favor at this point. Double Lightning Bolt. Alright, I mean... Once they have an Obstinate Bailoff, we should be in pretty good shape here. Coming in. All right. Well, our hand's very simplistic. We're just basically playing the burn deck. We didn't draw looting or any of our cool cards like that. Assuming they have no bail-off and no way to kill my Swiftspear, we're in fine shape. If they kill Swiftspear, we're going to end step both bolts. So we draw a land, we can cast Phoenix. They have bail-off. Nope, they have something else. They have Bloodbraid Elf. Sure. Cascade and the Tribe Elder. Alright, so it looks like our Swiftspear ain't getting through anytime soon. We're just going to rock the upstairs here and try and draw a burn spell or a land. I guess that makes sense. They feel like... that means they probably have Scape Shift. They're willing to prioritize that damage over the extra blocker, though any card that would kill this would probably just kill them too, so... Alright. Here we go. Any land? Any burn spell? Card draw spells or redraws? Works for me. We have been very good at drawing land this league, so that'll do it, I guess. So we probably should have won that game 1. I think we screwed up. Our opponent probably misclicked their land drop this game, so sloppy match all around, but I think that definitely a good matchup for us, so it works out. We're now 2-1, playing 2 pseudo mirrors so far already. I'm kind of glad we actually played against both those decks because we get to see a lot of the different ways to build this deck. Those are both of the blue-red options, also other mono-red options too. There have been some like Mardu versions of this deck kind of floating around trying to adopt the Arclight Phoenix package into like a Mardu Pyromancer sort of deck. A deck that's already playing Faithless Looting and Bedlam Reveler and Lightning Bolt and stuff. I think those decks are a little too fair, but there's no doubt that Arclight Phoenix is the real deal. The question seems to be, is Steam-Kin the real deal? And I'm still on the fence. We have not seen it be very good yet, because so far, all 3 of the matchups we've played have not really been good spots for it, because if we've seen it, it's been kind of slow. So, obviously we draw 2 more, but this hand's obviously great because we have a looting. Any hand with a looting is where you want to be. Keep. Marsh Flats. Not a super commonly seen fetch land in Modern. Blood Crypt. Alright, maybe looking at some sort of Death Shadow deck here. This hurts our hand a lot. Because obviously now we don't have looting anymore, so our best card is gone, and we only have a 1-lander. So that's a second Phoenix too. Oh my god, this hand would have been so good. We needs to draw a land. Yeah, they have picked us apart pretty good here. Looting. Oh my god. Yeah. Our draw steps have not been kind. Speaking of Mardu Pyromancer, well, that's actually pretty great for us. Yeah, sure. I would love to discard these Phoenixes that are clunking my hand up. Elishnorn? I want to remind everyone this is a competitive Modern league. This is just Modern. People love their Modern, and this is why. Because people just do whatever they want. It's nice. I respect Modern for that. So we could dump a Temper here, and I guess Nug Liliana. Doesn't really do. I guess we could then kill Liliana on our turn. I don't even think that Liliana is that bad for us right now, but eventually it is going to ultimate and be really annoying. If we discard a Phoenix, we can always do it next turn. And then untap and bolt it if we have to, but then we can't cast Steam-Kin. Not that I want to cast Steam-Kin into Liliana anyway. I mean, if they get this Elesh Norn into play, our Phoenixes mean nothing, obviously. It's going to be pretty difficult to win. Alright, I think this is fine for one more turn. Discarded a Dreadbore. Yikes. Yikes. Explosives on 2. Okay. So our opponent isn't doing anything. This is cool. I think this game is actually very winnable. Probably going to want to have us draw a looting at some point to clear his hand up a little bit, but Liliana's dead. They have no cards in hand. We could possibly flashback looting at some point. That's nice. This is actually not that bad. Until they draw Unburial Rites. Lingering Souls, also annoying. That's not a bad draw. Not a bad draw. Reveler. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not quite. Nice Goosed Quarter. Pretty happy to draw land next turn. Nope, just the 4th Runaway Steam-Kin. What is going on? I mean, I guess I just play it. Whatever. Like, they pop explosives, sure. It's gonna happen eventually anyway. Might as well make him do it now. Yep. Looting or land? Alright, that's fine. Swiftspear Mountain. That is a long way from getting back our Phoenixes. We have 1, 2, 3 spells in our graveyard now. Oh my god. I think we discard Phoenix Swiftspear. So next turn we can go Steam-Kin. And then next turn, hopefully we do cool stuff. You're on a 3-turn clock, so I mean, they aren't doing anything. They're just attacking for 4 each turn, so as long as we can just do something. Lava Spike. Alright, we're going to set up, play 2 Steam-Kins. Then we're going to hope that next turn is really, really, really good. We have triple Phoenix, 3 spells in the bin. Draw Manamorphose, a Looting, a Ritual. Something to get things rolling here with this Lava Spike and the Reveler and our Steam-Kins. And hopefully we can get things going here. That's a very defensive play. Okay. 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 Let's get this show on the road. Lava Spike Mountain. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be 5 spells in the graveyard. I can flash it back with the thingy though, so that's fine. Alright, yeah, so we're gonna go cast Looting. We're going to discard Spike, play Land Reveler. That's our extra mana, and then we can just kind of go nuts with flashing back lootings and stuff. We should just draw one spell off of the Reveler or the Looting, and we can get back our Phoenixes. I think we're in really good shape. Yeah. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Draw 3. Bolt, Ritual, Manamorphose. Okay. Make mana with Steam-Kin. Manamorphose. Red, red. Draw Swiftspear. I think we can cast that. Make mana with Steam-Kin. Cast that. I think we're going to flashback Looting. All right, so now I think you want this extra loot. We're going to discard the Ritual and the Snow-Covered Mountain. We can actually just discard the Looting and just flash it back. This mana is definitely not one of our bottlenecks at the moment. Yeah, we're going to discard the Looting and the land is extraneous. Let's make mana with our Steam-Kin. Flashback Looting again. Obviously, Steam-Kin, very good once it gets going, as we can see here. Another Manamorphose, sure. Discard Mountain, Ritual. And I think we are going to be finishing up here. We're not going to make any more mana with our stuff. We're about to finish going off, per se. All right, we drew a land. Okay, so now we're just going to move to combat, bring back Phoenixes, attack with everything, and yeah. All right, so they all come back. Good storm turn, right? Swing with everything. And this might actually be lethal. I didn't really do the math. Block here, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13. Yeah, that's exactly lethal, actually. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's actually 16. We're doing it either way, so. Cannot believe we won that game. That game is an indictment against the fair decks in Modern. You play a fair deck, you play Liliana, you don't really do stuff, and you let your horribly mana-screwed opponent the time it takes to come back into the game and win. They say drew 9 lands. Yeah, we got that part. We understand. So that was cool. Now we gotta be on the lookout for Graveyard Hate for sure. They seem to be playing some sort of like maybe Mardu Pyromancer hybrid deck, playing I assume Elesh Norn Burial Rites. We gotta be on the lookout for that. I think we're gonna want these shrines. It's a question of if we want Blood Moon or not. We're on the draw. They have Thought Seizes and stuff. We're gonna want to shave, I think, a Reveler, at least one Reveler, given that they're likely to have some kind of Graveyard Hate, and if they have like Leyline of the Void, Reveler is the one card that's actually terrible. We of course can always just cast Arclight Phoenix. You know, it's not the end of the world to just hard cast it, but hard casting Bedlam Reveler is a stretch. And then I think we're gonna cut the rituals too. Those are better in. We're gonna leave the Steam-Kins. They're not great, but cut the rituals too. I don't think we want Surgical Extraction. Even if they're able to get down Elesh Norn, at that point we could probably burn them out if we have to. And we're not super scared of Lingering Souls. I just don't think we really want it. I just want more consistent stuff. Steam-Kin is not going to be great because they have removal, but it's still fine. So I think I'm pretty happy with this. Again, the rituals tend to be bad in these fair matchups, so they're more for explosiveness. This is going to be a longer, grindier game. Looting Steam-Kin. I mean, we obviously keep our looting hands, so bottom mulligans to 6. Okay. Our hand's pretty Thoughtseize proof. I don't think our Steam-Kin is that important, so they discarded Collective Brutality and Lingering Souls. Their hand must be good, because Collective Brutality feels like one of the better cards against us. Alright, we're going to looting. We have plenty of lands to discard if we don't draw Phoenix or anything cool like that. Opponent's complaining in chat. Surprise. Alright, this is not ideal. Discarding 2 lands to a looting is not really our primary purpose of looting, but alright. I mean, if they have another Brutality here, it's pretty bad for us, but I mean, we can't really afford to not play stuff. I don't think we have a better, like, you know, better setup here. Lightning Helix? Sure. Swiftspear. Okay. It's fine by me. Not really an ideal opening. I mean, we're not really doing a ton, you know. We've sifted through some lands and so on and so forth. Obviously, we get Steam-Kin going. We do have looting as a flashback, which is nice. They're opting to cast Lingering Souls rather than flash it back. Okay. Temper's nice. I think I like the idea of looting here, because if we draw a Phoenix, we can bring it back immediately. So we're going to looting. Discard Temper. We draw Spike and another looting. I'm pretty happy binning this looting, given that we can flash it back with our Steam-Kin and stuff. Yeah, I'll just bin looting and temper. Keep his burn spells around. That's going upstairs. And then I think we're just going to attack and probably pass the turn. They have a lot of chump blocks coming up over the next few turns, so we're not really in a huge rush to go bananas spell-wise. We could make mana with Steam-Kin, but like our hand's pretty good. I don't want to like discard cards to looting or anything right now, so just attack. They have no good blocks. Besides just chumping, which is fine, so. You know, we're looking for Reveler, and we're looking for Phoenixes and stuff. We can pace ourselves otherwise. Flashback looting. Discard Grizzlebrand. That one will be difficult to beat. Do they have Goro's Vengeance? Oh, they have Lingering Souls. All right. Okay. So they have one card left. They still have a Lingering Souls, but if they ever are able to bring this into play, we're probably going to lose. So we should be prioritizing killing them if possible. So the problem here is that like our hand's actually just good, so I don't even want to flash back to looting, but I think we're going to. We can ditch whatever we draw. We can ditch this Tormenting Voice. We ideally want to find a Phoenix. That's kind of our goal. Alright, we're definitely casting three spells this turn. Let's just do this. Flashback looting. Phoenixes. Steam-Kin, Shrine of Burning Rage. That's actually pretty interesting. I definitely want the Shrine. I also want to be able to attack this turn. So I want to cast at least one spell. If they triple my Steam-Kin, I think that's fine. All right, I'm going to discard a Steam-Kin and the Voice. We'll just play a Shrine and play a Lava Spike. If they want to triple block the Steam-Kin, I'm fine with that. We need to kill them like sooner rather than later, because if this Grizzlebrand enters the battlefield, we're going to lose. So let's just get the counters going on the Shrine. And just get in here and do some damage. All right, coming in. Wow, they're doing it? I'm actually pretty fine with this because they seem really dead now. They're going to 7, and we have 2 bolts and a Shrine of Burning Rage in play. They could have Grizzlebrand this turn. They have Bedlam Reveler. That's fun. No Grizzlebrand, we're good. So, supposed to draw like Inquisition, that would suck, but nope, that's good. All right, they are not technically dead, but suppose I could draw Kolaghan's Command and kill my Shrine, but for the most part, they are dead. That's actually even better. Spike ya, say go. Wouldn't want to be ya. Now they would need an actual Grower's Vengeance to kill us. Because the Grizzlebrand has to gain a life immediately. They have Shambling Vent, sure. I mean, we just have Bolt, Shrine, Shrines. This is fine. Ticking Time Bomb, that Shrine of Burning Rage. Draw a land, they're dead. Ritual works too. I actually boarded those out. Alright, that works for me. Upstairs. You could have Lightning Helix, I guess, actually. If they have Lightning Helix, they would survive at 1 life. If they go Lightning Helix into Kolaghan's Command. In that case, I'm going to upkeep this, actually. So they have Helix, they have to waste their mana. Yeah, we're going to wait. If they have to waste their mana on their turn, they can't activate Shambling Vent, they can't get back the Grizzlebrand, and we kill them with this Shrine. So, and even if the worst case scenario happens of them having actual Helix into Kolaghan's Command, we still have draws to kill them anyway. So it's not even that bad. Like we have looting into multiple bolts. We have all sorts of stuff. So, sweet. Sweet. 3-1. Let's finish strong here with a nice 4-1. Get ourselves some treasure chests. We saw there, I mean, playing fair in Modern's tough because sometimes you just stumble a little bit and your opponent's decks are really, really powerful, and they're able to swing the game back really, really hard despite all of the early disruption. So that game, we were stuck on one land for like what? Maybe the first 5 turns of the game. Opponent had Liliana in play, which actually helped us more than it hurt us. We drew all 4 Steam-Kins. You know, we had drawn all 4 Steam-Kins before we drew our second land, I felt like, maybe. And but the power of our deck, we were able to just go nuts, get back all of our Phoenixes, make a bunch of mana, draw a bunch of cards, and kill them in one big turn. So there's something to be said for having a lot of power in your deck in Modern. You know, Tron, for example, my article on Friday was all about Tron. You know, sometimes with Tron, like I've played Tron a lot. I played Tron once. I played a match where I mulliganed to 4. I cast Ulamog on turn 4. Put the power in your deck, you know, and let it happen sometimes. You know, Jeskai Control will never do that. Again, not a great hand, but we're going to keep. We have Steam-Kin on the play. You know, there's a lot of cards that make this hand good. Obviously, a Looting or a Tormenting Voice. It's possible the deck wants the 3rd Tormenting Voice. Just drawing that kind of effect is just so important. What is this? Man. Popular. I got an Arclight Phoenix. I'm popular. That's not good. All right, I would say our hand seems pretty bad in the mirror. We'll see how this goes, but I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried. All right, no land drop. That is good for our kind of slow hand. And a Lava Spike. Okay, this plays. We could splice this next turn. It makes it free, but it doesn't really. I suppose it would allow us to cast Phoenix. We can just do that anyway, though. Yeah, there's not really much point to doing that. We'll just get the counter on the thing and attack right now. Also, next turn we can use Steam-Kin for mana. Hopefully, cast Reveler. You know, we'll see what they do here. They're on one land. They have 6 spells. They have a bolt or not. They don't have a bolt. Next turn's going to be. No bolt, no land. And the game is probably over. Wow. All right. It's party time. I think we go Ritual Phoenix, attack for 8. And then if they don't block, we'll go post-combat Reveler. We can cast Reveler, right? 2 spells, some mana. You have mana off all the Steam-Kins and stuff. Yeah. This is a little weird, but... All right, so we have a bunch of manas, and if they don't block, or I'm sorry, if they do block and we can't take the counters off the Steam-Kin without it dying, we'll just wait. I mean, we're so far ahead now, just a joke. So yeah, this game's over. They're at 3. Yeah, make 6 mana, cast Reveler. It's a good turn 4, right? Draw 3. And upstairs. Yeah, so as I was saying, one-landers, there's a reason I'm playing 19 lands, because you just can't afford to not draw a second land. You know, I mean, they missed for 2 turns and they just died. You know, even if they drew it last turn, they were probably still dead, because at that point we were so far in play. So, don't even know what version they're playing. We have to assume it's mono red because they played a basic mountain to open, but may or may not be. If it's straight mono red, I think we're going to want these Dragon's Claws and these Abrades. And we're going to want to cut out these Steam-Kins on the draw, I think, and go from there. I don't think we want Surgical Extraction. I just don't think it's necessary for only Phoenix. Like, again, super high ceiling if we hit it, and then really low floor if we don't. So I'm fine with Dragon's Claw and Abrade. Just play our game, do our thing, you know? And then we can obviously just see what their deck is like. in game 2. See if they're playing another color or not. See if they're playing a similar build to ours or different. Go from there. Well, this hand has a lot of potential. This is a turn 2 Phoenix hand if we draw some Phoenixes, but got to keep the looting hand. Okay, Mountain Go. Swiftspear. Alright, we're going to open on there. It might just get bolted, but I'd much rather just play Swiftspear than play a looting. Coming in. I mean, they kept 7. And don't have a turn 1 play or a response to my Swiftspear. That feels alright. Turn 2 looting. Discarding Reveler and Risk Factor. This is a card that was in the initial list. I'm not super high on it. It's definitely fine, but it tends to only be really, really good if you already have Steam-Kin going. And otherwise, it's just kind of expensive. And we're not always super pressuring our opponent's life total, so they can just take 4 sometimes. All right, what's looting? And try and draw a land here, too. That'd be nice. Land Phoenix, I suppose, is the best possible scenario. Land. All right. I think we dump some rituals here. I just don't think ritual is really doing much for us. We're already... With our double Manamorphose, casting Bedlam Reveler should be really easy. I just don't think the rituals are super necessary. We just have enough of that effect. We could splice it on a Lava Spike, but that's not really doing anything. So, and then as far as just casting Lava Spike, I might just want to hold it. I don't think we need to cast this with us both effectively at 20 life. You could save it for a prowess trigger or an extra Phoenix trigger or stuff like that. Ugly Manamorphose. Ours is much cooler. Even though it's not better art, just the old art's always better. Just the rule. They're playing a ritual. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in the rest, so they could be playing a Reveler here? Or something. Another ritual. They're going to storm kill us. I'm feeling it. Reveler with 1 card in hand. Alright. Discarding a Phoenix. That's bad. Now they have 3 new cards. 2 mana floating. Manamorphose. Again, one of the big draws to playing Ritual is just Revelers. You know, the fact that you can reload really fast is very nice. This is a pretty good turn 3. Well, you want to see what this deck is capable of. Our opponent is doing it. They have played turn 3 double Reveler Phoenix. They have 3 fresh cards in hand. I mean, I don't know if we can beat this. Do we bolt this Phoenix? I think we do, but I think we're in big trouble. These Revelers are going to attack for a lot of damage next turn, and they are very hard to stop. Yeah, I mean we are in big trouble here. Yeah, right on time. Their risk factor is great too because I actually have pressure now. This is really bad. Dragon's Claw. Let's stem the bleeding a little bit, you know? That want to work out well. Oh, I didn't hit the thing. Always yes. Yeah. So, probably dead. Yeah, if they're opening on Desperate Ritual, we're in trouble. They have Lootings to flash back. They have Risk Factor to flash back. They have Phoenix to get back. Yeah, this is bad. You can see how sweet the deck is, though. Look like they're playing a mostly similar version of a deck. They have like one Ramanap Ruins. It's a card you can play over a mountain if you want to. They're playing Risk Factor. There were 2 Risk Factor in the original list. I cut both Risk Factors for an extra land, and I don't remember the other card I cut for it. Oh, the 4th Lava Spike. So it's more cheap spells. Alright, they're flashing back Risk Factor. They discarded a Steam-Kin. Pretty sure we're taking 4 here. It's obviously not good for us, but letting them draw cards seems really foolish. Wow, they bricked. Okay. I would have cast Looting, not Risk Factor. That seemed really, really bad. They already cast 2 spells. And they just Looting to any 1-mana spell. They had their Phoenix came back too. That seemed really bad on their part. I don't know if we'll be able to punish them, but probably not, honestly. Fiery Temper? I mean, we get to Looting here. Discard Phoenix. If we draw a land, we get to spike them and bring the Phoenix back. All right. This is not where we want to be exactly, but Reveler? All right, so we discard Phoenix. Oh, we need this land, and I want this Reveler too. All right, we'll discard Temper also. We'd love to have the land in play and flashback Temper. It's obviously not possible. So and now we have to. So they're out of spells because they didn't have a 1-mana spell to get back Phoenix. They blew a Ritual too, so it's kind of weird. They have Surgical Extraction. That's what it is. Okay. So as I was saying, like, I mean, they could have cast this Surgical on their turn, got their Phoenix back. It's kind of weird they didn't, honestly. I don't necessarily think bringing in Surgical is correct. Because it just makes your deck weaker, you know? Like, if that was like a Lava Spike, they probably won the game effectively last turn. Alright, so we don't get that back, but we do get to cast Reveler next turn. And we still have a Claw in play. We're not in good shape here, but there is a path. Make sure, folks, when you cast Surgical on Magic Online, you also click the card in their graveyard or it will not go away. It's always very embarrassing when that happens. Oh my god, the 4th Reveler. Alright, now we're dead. Discard a Tormenting Voice. Draw 3. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could Reveler into like 5 Lightning Bolts, maybe? Nah, we're just super dead. Alright. Sometimes you got it, sometimes you don't, you know? Gain a life, draw 3. I mean, we'll keep playing, I guess. And, yeah. Okay. This give me a sweat, you know? Give me, like, another Looting and let me, like, think I'm going to try to have a chance. So, their hand was pretty good that game. Now we're back on the play. Don't want the Steam-Kins in. Dragon's Claw is weird. Like, the Claw seems like... Maybe on the play we just don't want it. They didn't seem... Did they have any Steam-Kins in their graveyard that game? Maybe we just cut it and stick to our main deck. If they're going to bring in Surgicals, we probably want to be a little more aggressive. It's in a slow deck down, make them take a fierce points of damage. Yeah, I'm going to bring it. I'm going to leave Steam-Kins, man. We're just going to go for it. No Dragon's Claw. You know, if we're not going to be boarding in our Surgicals, and they're boarding in theirs, so it's possible that our inevitability will go away. Extending the game doesn't really help us that much. I guess this hand is fine. This hand gets to Reveler pretty quickly if we draw another spell or two. I'm not happy about this hand. I'm going to keep it, but I'm not too happy about it. I'm just happy we have Reveler. We also have Bolts to answer their, early creatures, which is fine too. We also could just draw. We have 4 Lootings, 2 Tormenting Voices, 4 Manamorphose. We have a lot of good draws too. And they have Looting. That's bad for us. They discard a Phoenix and a Mountain. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I could buy that. Discard a Phoenix. All right. Sweet. Could have Surgical. They're pausing. Probably have Surgical. It's fine. Turn 2 Ritual. Manamorphose. I mean, they have a Phoenix, which is fine. I mean, we're not going to die to 1 Phoenix, Looks like a flashback Looting here. They have more Phoenixes. All right, they're going for it. That's a hard cast Looting. Discarding a Risk Factor and a Fiery Temper. All right. Yeah, I mean, unsurprisingly, their hand with Looting has been better than our hand without Looting, but it's thankfully only one. I don't think playing that Bolt was necessary. Only 1 Phoenix. They have 3 cards left and 2 lands. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can definitely I don't think we can play Steam-Kin. Again, Steam-Kin's just too slow. Like, we play Steam-Kin, then what? So they have double Looting in the bin. We're just opening a Manamorphose. Okay. That's 1. Yeah, we can't play Steam-Kin. But we're cool for Reveler next turn. That's fine. Alright, so we're just going to spike them. And we're just going to bolt them also. And then we'll bolt the Phoenix if we have to. That's 3 spells, right? 1, 2, 3. Go to combat. They have Surgical? Wow, they have Surgical too. It's so sick. All right. Their hands have been pretty good. Not going to lie. So I'm not sure about bringing in Surgical Extraction. Like, if you draw it once the Phoenix is already in play, it's just actually a blank card. I'm just not usually about cards like that. I don't think that removing Phoenix is like the end of the game. Our opponent won last game with Revelers, not Phoenixes, So, like, I don't even think Phoenix is effectively that important. We have 5 spells in the graveyard. All right, we'll say go. We're probably going to kill Phoenix in combat because it gives us our 6th spell for Reveler. Yeah, I think I'd rather do that than go upstairs. We have Reveler, so we're interested in playing a little bit of a longer game. Hopefully they don't also have Reveler, because then we'd probably be screwed. They don't. Land? Temper. That's fun. I don't mind that at all, actually. We get to Madness Temper. We get to go upstairs, draw some stuff. We drew Looting Reveler. That's fun. Fire away. Play land. There's no point in playing Looting. So we're just going to say go. I mean, drawing the next Reveler keeps chain going, so I'm pretty happy here. If their play this turn is Flashback Looting, they're probably dead. All right, cool. A Swiftspear. Okay. Swiftspear. And then I think we just play Reveler. I don't see a purpose in playing Looting. It's obviously a prowess trigger, but it's kind of a wasted mana because we're just going to literally discard the 2 cards that aren't Reveler. So I think there's no point in playing it. We'll just draw a spell of some kind. Okay. I suppose that's fine. I mean, we're going to attack, and we're going to hope we don't die somehow, because I don't think we can, really. I'm feeling pretty safe here, but can't really imagine what their hand is. They probably have an end-step risk factor, which I think is fine. We'll just allow them to draw 3 cards. Because they are clearly dead next turn to actual everything. So let's just try and ensure that they can't kill us. Yeah, we're gonna actually wait. So we let them draw 3. It's likely they can Phoenix us next turn, but that's much better than just taking 4. Yeah, I'm gonna let them draw 3. I think this is actually tough. So they have 2 cards in hand. We go to 7. If they just go like Bolt Phoenix, we're dead. If we let them draw 3. They can probably get Phoenix back, but it's doubtful if they can do much more than that. You know, there is a lot of air in their deck. You know, they have Rituals, they have Swiftspears now, Revelers don't matter. They have Surgical Extractions that don't matter. This is a really interesting risk factor. I think I want them to draw 3. I think their constraint is going to be mana and having the ability to do everything they want to do. So I don't think with the 6 cards in their hand next turn, they'll be able to cast them all. They obviously could just draw Rituals and stuff, be able to do it, but I think that if we take the damage here, if we're at 10, you definitely can't take the damage because it's just 2 bolts kills us, or a bolt and a Phoenix. I'm gonna let them draw the cards. And we'll see if their 6 cards can do 11 damage to us. I'm not sure what's right or wrong there, honestly. I think letting them draw is better. It's possible it's 7 life. They drew a Ritual. That's the worst case scenario. We didn't want them to draw Rituals, be able to cast everything. They drew a land and a Ritual. All right, Flashing Back Looting is the best case scenario. So just don't discard a bunch of Phoenixes and we're fine. 2 mountains. That's game. Cool. All right, so a solid 4-1. That's good. I was starting to worry that I would never actually do well in a league in one of these videos. But yeah, so the deck is super sweet. As you can see, Arclight Phoenix, very, very popular in Modern right now. We played against 3 different variations of a deck. Which one is best is still totally up in the air. I'm not going to lie. I am a little on the fence about Runaway Steam-Kin. I think that if the format stays very, very fast, I'm worried it's just too slow, especially on the draw. And that concerns me. But the overall engine is great. I've always loved Bedlam Reveler, and I've always loved Monastery Swiftspear. I've tried multiple times to play prowess-based aggro decks in Modern. Didn't always work out because you were prompted to want to play Faithless Looting, but with Reveler being your only payoff, it just didn't feel good enough. But once you add Phoenix to the mix, and now we have another good payoff for Faithless Looting, now looting is actually good, and everything kind of comes together really well. So I love these sort of aggressive prowessy burn decks. This is a version that I tried on stream that's a little bit different. I cut the Steam-Kins, and I'm playing more 1-drops and Soulscar Mage. I'm also playing cards like Crash Through, which is a cantrip that gives trample. This is another possible way to take the deck. It's possible this deck wants mutagenic growth. It's possible it wants the 19th land. It's possible we have too many Soulscar Mages, but the ability to play a prowess creature on 1, a prowess creature on 2, and then just go bananas on turn 3 is pretty awesome. So that's another possible way to build the deck. And then, of course, the versions we saw with blue, be it Kiln Fiend, super aggressive, or Thing in the Ice, a little more, mid-rangey and have a little more interaction. So a lot of ways to build this deck. The ideal list has not been found yet, but it is definitely a player in the Modern metagame, as you've seen in this league. So Arclight Phoenix, not just for Standard. Bedlam Reveler, God, such a cool card. I love Bedlam Reveler. So deck is super sweet. Hope you enjoyed the video here on CoolStuffInc.com. Remember, of course, I have a video up every Monday on CoolStuffInc.com, as well as my written article every Friday. And of course, I'm always streaming and stuff during the week, and all my personal YouTube videos as well are available. So lots of content. Make sure you check out CoolStuffInc.com for all your gaming needs. And we'll see you guys next time. Check out my article this Friday, and of course, I'll see you guys next Monday here on the video side. I'll see you guys later, and have a good one. Have fun with your Arclight Phoenixes.